A very good evening to everybody. Welcome to my video. Today I am going to discuss with you one of the most interesting and important topic of our biology, that is human circulatory system. So before I move further, I want to tell you something about why it is said to be a system. With our previous knowledge, as we know that every organism is a set of organ system. Organ systems include your digestive system, which involves in breakdown of complex food molecule into simpler form, respiratory system that responsible for exchange of gases through inhalation and exhalation. Excretory system is another system within organisms that is responsible for removal of waste material or toxic substance from our body. Similarly, circulatory system is also one of the system within organism that perform a vital role in transportation of nutrients, oxygen, hormones, and also involves in removal of toxic waste materials from our body. If we talk about circulatory system, as you can see in the diagram, circulatory system is basically a transport mechanism that help to transport nutrients, oxygen, hormones to different part of the body. It basically involves blood in its system, which is also known as connective tissue that connects body from head to toe. So, I would define circulatory system is a system of an organism that is responsible for rich supply of nutrients, oxygen, hormones to each and every cells of the body, and also help in removing of toxic waste materials from each and every cells of the body. So circulatory system is a vital system that connects each and every part of the body and that helps in transportation of nutrients, oxygen, hormones to each and every part of the body, and also involves in removal of waste materials. Just look at this beautiful diagram where you can see a networking channel. This is basically a diagram of human circulatory system, which basically function as network of highway. It transport materials around the body. Let us talk about types of circulatory system in living organisms. In living organism, there are basically two types of circulatory system. One is open circulatory system, another one is closed circulatory system. So what is the basic difference between them? Open circulatory system, by its name, suggests that in this blood moves freely within sac called sinus, whereas in closed circulatory system blood moves within blood vessels in a closed system. In open circulatory system basically apply for it happens in small, or I would say simpler organisms, and closed circulatory system, it generally involves It include large or complex organisms. So what are the examples? If we carefully look at the examples of open circulatory system are arthropods and molluscs, and in closed circulatory system examples higher vertebrates, earthworm, humans. So this is the basic of circulatory system. So in my video today I am going to discuss with you about human circulatory system. So I thought of explaining you the basic of the circulatory system. Now let us talk about the function, or revise once again the function of circulatory system. Its main function is transport. What does it transport? It involves in gaseous exchange. So it helps in transportation of oxygen and carbon dioxide. It helps in transportation of nutrients, food we eat, in complex form. Digestive system helps it break down in complex food molecules into simpler form, and in result of that we get nutrients that got absorbed by blood. Blood take those nutrients, essential molecules, and transport it to different part of the body as per requirement. It also involves in transportation of hormones in order to maintain homeostasis. It also involves in removal of waste materials that mainly include your urea and metabolic waste. Yes. So this is all about the function of a circulatory system. Now, as we move further, let us talk about anatomy of the vascular system. Anatomy of cardiovascular system. Here I would like to share one of my tips which I used to apply in my life. Whenever in biology or any subject, if we found a word which is very long and we don't know the exact meaning of that word, I generally split that word into halves. For example, in this cardiovascular system, it basically composed of two words, cardio and vascular. As you can see, cardio means there will be an involvement of heart, vascular means there will be involvement of blood vessels, right? So structure of a circulatory system basically involves three parts. It composed of three parts: heart, the most vital organ of circulatory system, blood vessels and blood. I am going to clear all your basics about blood vessels and heart one by one. First, let us talk about blood vessels. Blood vessels are tubular channels. They help in supplying blood since human body involves in human closed circulatory system. So there is requirement of flowing of blood within a channel, within a tubule, that is said to be blood vessels. Blood vessels are of three types, depend upon their thickness: arteries, veins, capillaries. Just look at this beautiful diagram. This is a diagram of blood vessels. Here you can find some thick vessels, some thin vessel, some more thinner vessels. So let us talk about this. In this diagram, here I have mentioned three types of blood vessels: arteries, capillaries and veins. If I need to tell you about arteries, as you can see with the diagram from heart, arteries take blood from heart. Arteries take blood from heart. Veins, blue arrow is going up, that means veins carry blood towards heart. Veins carry blood towards heart. In between these two there presents capillary. Its main function is only exchange of materials within blood and the body. In this tabular form, I would like to explain you in simplified way. Remember, whenever you need to answer some question in your exam, you need to use maximum diagrams, flowcharts, graphs, so that you can explain your answer. It will help you to memorize quickly as well as examiner to check your answer, and that's why it can increase your chance of getting high score. So let us simplify our answer of understanding what exactly the blood vessels are. In first column I write vessels, structure, function, and diagram. So first one is our arteries. So arteries are basically, the wall of arteries are very thick wall and highly elastic. Their main function is transport of blood away from heart. And the diagram, if I mention, it have very thick wall. Its circumference is very less circumference. Second is veins. It have thin, less elastic wall. It carry blood towards heart, and it has thick circumferences, large circumferences. Third one is your capillaries. So these are very thin or thinner walled vessels that mainly involve in exchange of nutrients, gases, materials within blood and body. Very thin, very small circumference. So this is a basic about blood vessel. The next part of circulatory system, if you remember, which was blood. How can you define a blood? It's a tissue. Yes, it is a tissue. What kind of tissue it is? It is a connective tissue, because it connects body from head to toe. So we can say that it is a connective tissue. Where it is originated from? Blood is a connective tissue. It originated from mesoderm layer of embryo. Do you know, in adult human approximately they are present 5.5 liters of blood. How interesting it is. So it might have various type of function. What are the function of blood? It helps in transportation of materials, that includes your nutrients, various essential molecules. Now it also involved in hormone transport. It also involved in maintaining internal body environment depending upon the type of temperature, weather condition, the area you are living in order to adapt that environment, that is homeostasis, blood perform a vital role. Blood also, being a part of immune system, help in giving response to the body, that is immune response to the body. If there is getting any infection into your body, inside your body, the blood respond quickly. It start producing antibodies, physiological activities happen to your body, like increase in your temperature. It also carries some blood clotting factors, and hence it helps in coagulation of blood. Clotting factors help in solidification of the blood in order to stop bleeding. Next is component of blood. Blood itself composed of two main parts, blood plasma and blood cell. If we talk about blood plasma, it's a yellowish colored watery fluid. It composed of 90% of water and also dissolved proteins. So when we talk about this plasma, it also contains salt, glucose, amino acids, fats, vitamins, hormones, and also cellular waste. If you look at this diagram carefully, you can see 60% our body is covered by water, 19% protein, fat 15%, mineral 5%, and carbohydrate 1%. So this is all about blood plasma. Let us move on to blood cell. Blood composed of blood cells as well. There are three major type of blood cells which are present within blood. They are said to be red blood cell, also known as RBCs. It also named as erythrocyte. Second is leukocyte, which is also known as WBCs or white blood cell. Third is thrombocyte or platelets. Now, if you look at this diagram carefully, you can see blood cell which include platelets, for example thrombocyte. It generally help in clotting of blood. I will discuss each of them in my next slide. Red blood cells, they are disc shaped due to the presence of hemoglobin, a pigment, and that give red color to blood. I will explain these also to my next slide. Third is white blood cell, which help to fight against infection and protect our body. Let us talk about RBCs, erythrocyte. These are the basic disc-like structure of erythrocyte under microscope. If we talk about the function, it is present in our body 5 to 5.5 millions per cubic mm of blood. What does it do? It is basically containing a pigment that is known as hemoglobin, and it also in short form written as HB. It is basically a red color pigment, and due to this red color, the blood looks red. It is an iron containing pigment. What is the function of this? This pigment it act as carrier of oxygen throughout our body. Whenever a patient feel like insufficient or suffocated or unable to breathe properly, that means if there is a reduction in erythrocyte in a body, the patient will feel like as if he is unable to breathe properly, because carriers become reduced in their number, and that might sometime leads to coma. The lifespan of erythrocyte, total lifespan of erythrocyte is 120 days. Let us talk about WBC, leukocyte. This is the basic structure of leukocyte. It basically involves in protection. It protects body from infection. It produced red blood, red bone marrow, and lymph node. It can move throughout the tissue. Let us talk about another blood cell that is known as platelets. Before that, I would like to mention that blood vessel WBC, there are about 6,000 to 8,000 leukocytes or WBC per cubic mm of blood. Let us talk about platelets. As I mentioned, this is a diagram of platelet. Platelets, they produced by bone marrow. They play a major role in coagulation of blood. They have blood clotting factors that basically involved in solidification of blood in order to stop bleeding. So how does it work? I have a flow chart. Let me explain this. In this you can find this is a cell. In this cell there is an injury in the lining of blood vessels, and due to that reason platelets get to know, and it informs its chemicals to get into work, and that platelets release chemicals and form platelet sponge. Multiple platelet sponge come and get adhere with that connective tissue. Until then it respond to a blood factor that is known as prothrombin. Students, prothrombin is an inactive form. In any word, if you find pro, that means it is in inactive form. Or last name, if you find gen, that means fibrinogen, it is again in inactive form. Generally prothrombin in normal condition present in inactive form as prothrombin. Soon it get respond from platelet that there is some leakage within the lining of connective tissue. It actively converted into its active form, that is thrombin. Thrombin in its active form give response to inactive form of fibrinogen, and it activates fibrin. In this active form, fibrin clot and trap the cell to avoid more release of blood and helps soon in stopping bleeding, that is blood coagulation. In this way it helps in order to stop bleeding, this help in coagulation of blood. So this is all we have talked about blood vessels, blood, which were the main two parts of circulatory system.